everybody, welcome back to the Cosplay Madness. That is my channel. In honor of the brand new Wonder Woman movie coming out, I thought I would tell you a little bit about how I made my Red Sun Wonder Woman cosplay. If you don't know, Red Sun Wonder Woman comes from a comic book called Red Sun Superman, which is an alternate universe Superman where he lands in Soviet Russia instead of the United States. And so he's kind of Russia's superhero, like fighting for communism. It's really a good comic. I really enjoy it. It's a good read. But Wonder Woman is also communist, so there you go. Meh. I made this costume about a year and a half ago, and I also made the Red Sun Superman outfit for my boyfriend to match because it was so cute. It was really fun. I didn't film any of the process for this costume. This is just a walkthrough. So we'll start from the top, which is the wig. This wig is from Arta Wigs. Unfortunately, it's a prototype, so you can't get this exact wig, but it is the closest to a Grace. The only problem I have with this wig is it tangles like absolutely crazy, and that's because it's a long wig, and any long wig you have is gonna just tangle. It's gonna be tangly forever, and I've just come to accept that. Next is the crown. So the crown is just a piece of Worbla and craft foam. Actually, it's two pieces of Worbla and craft foam smushed together into the crown shape, and there's a piece of elastic on the back, and so it just slips right on to my head. There is a raised Worbla detail along the outer edge of the crown, and then there are two stars. There's a big star and then a little star. For the big star on this crown, I just used a regular old metal cookie cutter, heated up the Worbla, shoved the cookie cutter into the Worbla just to get a perfect star. It works really well. Metal cookie cutters, great tool for cosplay. Who knew? So we'll just move on to the top. If I were going to do anything over again, it would definitely be this top. I really like the fabric it's made out of. It's made out of a red faux alligator skin, and I really like the texture and interest that that brings to the outfit. However, when I made this, I didn't know how to insert boning, and it was kind of a con crunch costume, and so I just added straps to it, which isn't canon, but I mean, it works. It's just a pretty basic bodice top, and since it is made out of faux leather, it's very stiff, so it does give quite a bit of support. It ended up being too short, so I added this black part to the bottom of it and top stitched it in red, and that looks pretty cool, I think. And she has a belt anyway, and so that just kind of acts as the belt. Now, on my outfit at my most recent photo shoot, the zipper broke, which was a problem, so I need to go back in and add a corset lacing because the zipper, it just doesn't really work with this fabric so well. I'm not sure why, it just kind of doesn't want to stay sewn. If I were to remake this, I would add boning so it would actually stay up on my body without the straps, and then I would also add a corset lacing because the zipper just, I mean, this isn't the first time it's popped. It's just had a little bit of a rough time. I also included a lasso. It isn't a functional lasso, and it's just attached to her outfit with a little flap of the faux leather. And I don't remember how many yards of this trim I got, but it's just kind of a pale gold rope, and it also is held together just with a strip of duct tape, so nothing too crazy. I didn't really want to use it as a prop because I don't know how to lasso things properly, so I figured it would just kind of look silly if I had a lasso, so it just hangs out on my hip. Next is this insignia. It is also made out of Worbla. It's a circle of Worbla covered with like a little edge of more Worbla and then the diamond shape. It's just glued onto the bodice. Next is the skirt, and this is just a basic circle skirt. It's made out of gray spandex because my boyfriend's outfit was also mostly made out of gray spandex, and I wanted us to have some fabric that matched. I painted on the stars with black acrylic paint, and I outlined the stars using brown Sharpie. Shouldn't have done that. I should have outlined them using black Sharpie, but you live and you learn. It sits about mid-thigh. Now we'll move on to talking about the boots. And the boots, for me, were one of the most frustrating parts of this project. I hadn't made non-stretchy boot covers before, and so I had to make these 3 times, and it was totally awful. So they have a zipper on the back just so I can get in and out of them, which is pretty handy. They're made of the same fabric as the bodice, and it's just an old pair of flats that I had that I covered. I made the boots a little too tall the first time, so they go up over my knee. Wonder Woman's boots really only go to like the top of her calf, and so for the photo shoot I did most recently, I just folded down the top of the boots and made it look more canon. In the future, I think I'm just gonna cut these shorter and then sew a new closure at the top of the zipper because it is kind of a pain to keep them folded every time. Now we'll move on to the really fun part, which is the armor. So the armor is made from craft foam and Worbla sandwiched together. Wham! I made it a little too big, and so I can't bend my arms all the way. That's okay though, because I can still bend them pretty far. So I made a basic bracer, and then I covered it with strips of Worbla, and then these tiny, tiny little stars that you can see. I used something called a fondant puncher. My mom used to decorate cakes. And so what I did was I heated up the Worbla and just stuck this little star shape into it and then pressed it out, and then I just made a ton of tiny little stars and put them all over the armor. I have the bracers. I also have, they're not gauntlets. I can't remember what these are called, but they go around the upper arm. This is also a craft foam and Worbla sandwich, and I put some stripes of Worbla and more of the little punched out stars. Next is the chest armor, which is my favorite part because it magnets onto the bodice. It's so cool. So it comes in two pieces. This one's upside down. It comes in two pieces. It is also just a Worbla and craft foam shape that I heated up and molded it to the shape of my chest, and then I added some of the cool Worbla stars onto it. There are magnets inside of the bodice and on the inside of the armor, and so it just snaps right into place, and it's great. I love it. I definitely embellished all of the Wonder Woman armor because in the comic it's quite plain, but I really like to take the elements from the comics and kind of dress them up a little because I think it gives it a lot more visual interest in real life, and cosplay has no rules, so I do what I want. Also, I lined the inside pieces of the armor that goes on my arm with some faux leather just to make it a little more comfortable to wear. Worbla doesn't feel super nice against your skin just because it's kind of rough plastic, and it also made them fit a little bit tighter, which was nice. I painted the armor using basic acrylic paints, and then for the silver, I actually used a silver rub and buff, which works really well because it's nice and shiny. So that is my Wonder Woman costume. It's not 100% canon, but I am really proud of it, and I love it a lot. It's actually one of my favorites to wear, just because I feel so, like, badass in it, because it's Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's great. So if you have any questions at all about my cosplay, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you'd like to see any photos of me wearing this cosplay, you can find them on my Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Snapchat. All of those will be listed in the description down below. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you like cosplay and cosplay tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!